Hey guys, this is Indian Tack. As you can see, it's just another day near Washington DC. The temperature is 55 degrees, so it's cooling down. We hope to see more and more temperature drops, and I think it will go in 20s and maybe lower than that by the time we'll get in winters. But it has its own, place, and I enjoy winters more than I enjoy summers. So I hope this traffic stays light like it is right now, because I'm kind of running late to work. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the tree colors are changing. They are not dark green anymore. You can see some of them are turning their colors into red, or maybe some shade of yellow, like that one. So I just can't wait. So this, I don't know if you guys can see that little sign facing the highway over there. But that sign actually is is dedicated to one of the trooper first class of Maryland State Troopers, Anthony Jones. And this trooper died while on duty. So they put up a sign there because I think the trooper died right there at that spot. So I went to the Maryland State Police website, and I looked for information because it says dedicated to TFC Anthony Jones. So I went and I looked up for Anthony Jones, and seems like how that unfortunate event happened is that the officer was doing a routine traffic stop, and while he was doing a routine traffic stop, he stopped the car for whatever violation, speeding or something. There was another car where people were drunk and they were driving it, and they slammed into this car and the officer, and Anthony Jones died. So this is very important, to remember that when you are driving cars at these speeds in this country, like I'm doing like 60 miles, which is 100 kilometers right now, for people in India. And this is kind of going slow right now, because sometimes the traffic is moving at, 70 miles, 80 miles, which is about 120, 130 miles per hour. 120, 130 kilometers per hour. So you gotta keep your, car with the traffic. So the speeds here are high, and if you drink or if you add any kind of distraction to it, if you are playing on your smartphone, checking the Facebook post, or sending a text to your friend, or talking to your girlfriend or whatnot, but a minor slip of a minor slip can cause you or someone else to lose their life. The cars here travel at great speeds, as you can see. I mean, this is a traffic rush hour, but still we are doing, like right now I'm doing 120 kilometers per hour. So when you're sitting in a car, you don't feel like it, but if you go and stand on the side of the street, and then you will see how fast the cars will go by you. So drinking alcohol is bad as it is, if you're driving, but any other thing is equally important. You're not supposed to play around with your cell phones or smartphones or tablets. Now that's another thing. It's scary because I saw a woman other day on the driving in Washington DC, and she had her iPad resting on her steering wheel, and I don't know what she was doing, or what she was trying to do. It is illegal here to use any of those devices while driving, but the cops cannot be everywhere, right? So I hope these people get caught, at some point, and maybe they will learn a lesson after they will pay like $100, $200 ticket. So I really felt bad, because I think this guy, Anthony Jones, he had a family. And family or not, a life is a life, he was just doing his job. So it's a waste of life. That's what it is. Just because some idiots thought, they can drive while they were drunk. It really makes me upset when I hear or see things like this happening. So I don't know if that was the driver, or the law was already there before. I need to look up for that information. But in Maryland we have a move over law. Several states do have that law. So basically, if you see that somebody is on the shoulder is that part of the road, you can see. So the shoulder is an area where you don't drive. That is for emergency purposes, to pull over, if you have a flat tire, or if your car is not working, or something happened. So if you see someone stopped at shoulder, or maybe near the median strip, like on this one, legally you're required to move over. So if somebody stopped here, I will have to move on that lane and not continue driving on this lane, because I would want to give space to whoever is trying to fix their car problem or whatever they are doing. So incidents like, you know, with Anthony Jones will not happen. But anyway, I mean, that happened for other reason, but part of the reason was if you see a cop or state trooper pulling over someone, you move over to the next lane. You don't drive by right next to them doing, you know, 120 kilometers per hour. There is a video where a Maryland state trooper was doing a, you know, traffic stop, and a truck came and like scraped his legs and arms. If you look at the video, I watched it on Maryland State Police website. If you look at that video, you will say how fortunate that, you know, the officer was to walk away alive from that scene. So if you are, you know, in here, try to follow the laws they have. Try to understand the laws first. Like, you know, you should do a thorough study. And I mean not like civil laws or anything, but I mean something like, you know, traffic laws or small, you know, small information that may be related to what you do day to day, every day. So that might help you, you know, at some point. It's always a good idea. I mean, this is not about United States. It's not about India. It's not about any other country. I think it's always a good idea to know what the local laws are, to be aware, especially if you have recently moved to a new place, because, you know, you might do something which is not, you know, allowed. So here, the winters are coming, and you will see with me a lot of dead deers. Yes, deers. So we have a lot of deer problem in this part of the country. We have deers running over, because, you know, you can see this is all wooded. You know, these are all woods on either side, right? It's there are deers living behind here and there. So during their mating season and in winters, like about I think from November to February is like really November and December and January are like the really bad months for that, but especially at nights. So you're driving at, you know, 60-70 miles per hour, and suddenly a big huge deer will come in front of your car trying to cross the road, and you will slam into the deer. Fortunately, it has not happened to me yet, though I survived 2-3 of those things. I mean, I just saved my skin. It happened, and I was just you know, fortunate to have just enough time to brake or, you know, steer away. Once actually it happened during the bright daylight, you know, on Sunday. It was like 12:30 p.m. and 2-3 deers were running, chasing after each other, and they crossed. And I was with my friend, and I said, "Oh man!" And I think the last one happened in January earlier this year, where a huge deer, huge, I've never seen that big, jumped out of the woods from my left, and if missed my car by about a feet, and before I know it, that guy is gone on the right side of the woods. So if that deer would have hit me, it would have damaged my car. I don't think I would have been hurt because I was doing like 25 miles or something. But the sheer size of the deer would have definitely damaged this car for good. People, those who have been in deer accidents, they tell me it feels like hitting the wall. That's what I've been told. It feels like you hit a wall. Sometimes the deer gets up and goes, but most of the time they end up being dead. They will leave a skin, fur, blood on your car. So you need to. Your car is damaged anyway, no matter what car are you driving. So. Coming back to laws and why we started talking about deers is you need to be aware of local laws. So I know this guy who came from Africa, and he was asking if he can pick up a dead deer from the road to cook and eat. And I said, why would you want to do that? And he said, well, if it is recently, hit by a car, or if he is the one who hit a deer, can he just pick it up and take it home and cut it and cook it? So as bad as the idea of eating a roadkill is, it is illegal. It is illegal in Maryland. You cannot hit it with your car and eat an animal, because then the whole idea of having hunting permits, and hunting season and hunting areas is at fault. People are, if this is how it's gonna be, then a lot of people will not go hunting. And say, yeah, okay, I'll they will get a way to get the deer, and if they will get caught, they will always say, oh yeah, I hit it with my truck or something, whatever. So anyway, it's a bad idea. It's illegal, and why will you want to eat a roadkill? So, but hunting is big here. Hunting is big in Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, not so much in California. Guess why? So, that is one thing I've never been to. I've never been to hunting, and I want to go for my experience. Just I don't know, take my shotgun and go and see, try maybe something. The only thing that stops me from going for fishing and hunting is what I'm gonna do after I'm done with hunting and fishing. I really don't have a property like most of the people have here. Those who go for hunting, like they have like big properties where they have places where they go and cut and clean. So I don't have that. I don't even have a pickup truck. You need a pickup truck for that, if you're going hunting, so you can put the deer or whatever game you got, put it in there, and then even if you don't have a property, you can take it to people, those who process it for you. They will cut it, they will clean it, they will cut it, and they will put it in vacuum pack, packing in pieces like the way you want, the cuts you want, and then they will freeze it, and then they will give it to you. I think they charge like $150 for a whole deer to process, clean, cut, and pack it. So I can do that, but I still need a pickup truck, or I need a friend with a pickup truck. And with the fish, okay, you don't need that much, you can cut it on your own, but I just don't want to do it. It's too much of you know, I mean, what are you gonna do? You cut a fish, it's gonna stink the whole house, and you know, so that's the only thing. Did I tell you guys about the construction going in Washington DC at crazy amount? That's causing that's one of the reasons we are having all these traffic jams on this road, because look at it, you know, you can see the construction crane, you know, on your right. They're digging up something. It's not actually a construction crane, I think it's a hole, but oh well. And then you see this you know, construction stuff going in front of us on a huge ass truck. So that's one of the reasons we are having all these traffic jams. There's so much construction going on in New York Avenue. You see all these trucks driving, you know, huge amount of construction supplies every day, and they have their own limitation of moving, so they kind of, you know, move slow. And then so we came here because, you know, this guy is slow. It may be a bad idea to be on this lane, but you know, I will see. I can't do switches left and right. So within few miles we drove while you guys have been with me. The temperature has gone up from 55 to 61, and I can guarantee if I turn back and I we'll go back again to 55 or 56. Washington DC is warmer compared to other parts of Maryland. Hell, Maryland is a very small state. You go to Garrett County in Maryland, or you know where Deep Creek area is, I guarantee you there it might be not more than 40 degrees. When we get 2 inches of snow, they get like a, you know, foot of snow. You can't imagine it's like, you know, in the same state, but you know, that's how it is. See, this guy is driving really slow, and I should have stayed in this lane because I see more trucks in the middle lane, so I'm gonna just be, whoever is gonna stay in the middle lane is gonna be really, really slow. I should have stayed on the right lane. Let's see what our DC Metropolitan Police is doing today. What are they up to? Are they still fixing the camera? Did I tell you guys how many cameras Washington DC has? I think even they don't know. That's blinking lights you're seeing is the great Metropolitan Police Department of Washington DC, the Men in Blue, Washington DC's finest. What happened here? Washington DC has its own problems with some of the areas in Washington DC, and I don't know if DC police can ever, fix those problems. I think those problems are more like political problems than anything else. Alright, time to get back on where the traffic is moving. I don't know what they're gonna build on this left hand side. This area is changing really big time. I mean, I'm coming here almost every day, and even I'm surprised. Are you kidding me? Seriously? This used to be some kind of a warehouse on our left. Hachette or something. Hacked. And yeah, hacked. Hashed. Anyway, so it's becoming an apartment complex now, a shopping complex now, and everything. And it will be a different thing, you know, in a few months. So all this area is getting refreshed, you know. All this development happening here in New York Avenue is gonna displace a lot of people. I think it has already displaced a lot of people, those who have lived here for some time, but it's gonna do some more. I can see that happening. I can see the change happening already. If I drive down here another half a mile, you will start. I mean, I don't know if you lived here or if you are like, if you will find out. But this place is changing for sure. I can already see a change. Acura TL. Acura is having problem. I think this model was not very good. The one in front of us, Acura TL. This specific generation was, I think they didn't even sold it for more than 2 years or 3 years, and then they changed the whole, you know, generation again. A friend of mine, she had an Audi. But then she was, you know, after she drove it for several years, she got fed up with the maintenance cost. And, you know, so she said, okay, I'm going to buy a Japanese car. But then she didn't want to buy a regular Japanese car. She wanted to buy a more luxurious Japanese car. So, in other words, she didn't want to buy a Honda. She wanted a better version of Honda. So she bought a, you know, Acura TL, exactly same color, same shape, same model. And I was talking to her once on the phone, and she told me that she doesn't like it at all. It's not smooth as Audi, and I mean, it's okay, there's no maintenance or anything, but it just doesn't feel right to her. But I think this model has not been that popular. I mean, the previous TL model was a huge success, but this generation and generation after that, Acura actually has lost their, they are losing their market share. So is Infiniti. Infiniti is, there was a time when everyone wanted to buy Infiniti G35 and G37 coupes and FX, their SUV. Now you don't see new Infinitis at all. It's like Nissan is doing some crazy work. Actually, there was an article also in newspaper that the bosses of Nissan in Japan are taking control of the operations in the US, which is actually affecting their market share in a negative way, because the US operations of Infiniti and all, they want to come up with new models, but the Japanese bosses are saying no, we are not going to do it. They even asked for a diesel engine, and they said no, we are not going to do it. So there is like a lot of red tape and bureaucracy and politics going in between Nissan that is not allowing Infiniti to do what they want to do. And it's a classic example of people, those who want to do something, those people those who know what's happening, and people those who don't know. So they may be the bosses in Japan, but the guys here in US knows how the US market responds to it, what it responds to.